Hey, I told that story on the pod when my freshman year in high school, I made the basketball team, but I had to we was doing shirts and skins on like the last day of tryout,
And he was like,
and I
no.
was and I was skins. I left. I said, fuck
Listen,
it. They said you gotta, you know what I'm saying, you gotta get on skins to do,
that,
you know what I'm saying, to solidify your spot on the squad. I said, no, I'm good.
Mike, that's a terrible reason
That's
still.
my last time I ever played organized basketball. It was my freshman year in high school. I made the team, and we had to do shirts and skins, and I was on skins, and I said no good.
Yeah.
So fuck it.
Well, we released the pod yesterday, but we record on Tuesdays. We release the audio on the DSPs on Thursdays, and a whole bunch of shit happened. Kyrie opted in.
Let's talk about it.
Kevin Durant asked for a trade. Um, there have been numerous free agency signings and trades that has happened, including one that happened just before we hit record. And that was bigger than what I thought it would be as far as draft picks. So there's a lot of stuff going on. So when there's a lot of shit going on, we got a pod. This is version 2 of this one.
Can't
Uh,
wait
so
to can't wait to Tuesday for this one.
Yeah, so make sure you rate, like, subscribe, download wherever you get your favorite podcast. Some dude, make sure you get that merch. All of that is done. Let's start with Kyrie and you. I want to start with you with this one. Reason why is because when some dude, 126,
Yeah, 126.
we approached the idea of Kevin Durant asking for a trade.
Yeah,
I think we approached this before anybody.
yeah,
But we know we're not on the ESPN, so really doesn't matter.
yeah,
But it matters to us.
yeah.
Damn it. We approached it, and you said that
You should
if
pull the clip up. You should have had the clip ready. You should have played it.
it's somewhere around here,
Yeah,
but we'll get it because we really don't need it because you said that point blank that if Kevin Durant were to ask for a trade, it would be one of the top home moves in NBA history. So I'm gonna start with Kyrie a little bit, but basically said, do you blame Kevin Durant for asking out of Brooklyn because of the shenanigans of his point guard? Trying to give him some grace here.
he asked for this shit. This is what you signed long term for. Man's just signed a 4-year extension last summer. Now you quit? You quit? It's over now, huh? Shit go left. You want to go right, huh? No. No, no, no. No, no. But this is Kyrie and KD's doing. We can start with Kyrie. This is Kyrie. Kyrie was the first one to sign with the Brooklyn Nets. He was the first one. So this is his shit show to start with. And he recruited or whatever they did. I don't know what these basketball players do nowadays when they recruit or whatever. But KD joined him.
Right.
Didn't play the first season. Come back. Boom. Halfway through the season, y'all get James Harden. Woo! All right, here we go. NBA championship. You know what I'm saying? Shit looking sweet. All of that, bro. On top of that, y'all got a first-time head coach. This is the shit that y'all put together. Y'all did this collectively as a unit. Y'all put this shit together, fam. You know what I'm saying? And y'all thought y'all was finna dominate the NBA, and it could have possibly went the way that they may have planned it.
Right.
But you got other bullshit. You got injuries, and then you got, you got being part-time and all of this shit like that. But at the end of the day, Kevin Durant, this is the shit you inherited. And then you signed an extension last season. 4 years, bro. They
So
gave you they gave you the bag. So you showed them that you was committed. And then you turn around and do this? Kevin Durant, you didn't fail me. You didn't fail me. You did exactly what I expected you to do. You didn't fail. I'm proud of you, dog. I'm proud of you. And I will gladly now induct you in to a top 5 that you are already in. You are the first player in NBA history to hold 2 spots in a top 5 that you shouldn't even want to be in. But you're in
And
there.
what's that, Mike?
Top 5 biggest hoe moves in NBA history. And you see this jersey I got on right here? I'm wearing this jersey. This is a jersey I'm wearing because I'm gonna tell you how much of a hoe move this is.
Okay, go ahead. I see where you're going.
He's not a hoe. And I'm not gonna call him out his name, anything like that. We don't do that here. We don't call men out of their names, but this is a hoe move. So it's a difference. So I'm not calling KD a hoe, but this is a hoe move. And I'm wearing this jersey because this man is repeating the same exact thing he did back in, what year was that? 2016 or whatever? 2000, whatever year it was, when he left a team that had the best team in the NBA on the ropes in a 3-1 situation in the Western Conference Finals, and y'all fumbled the bag. Then you left your team to go to that team. So if anybody want to know what the biggest hoe move in NBA history is, that is the biggest hoe move.
Okay,
in NBA history. So
give us 3 more hoe moves.
Okay, you know what? I gotta think about it. You know what I'm saying? I gotta think about it. But I know KD got 2 spots though. That one is the top biggest hoe move ever though. Kevin Durant joining a 73-9 team. That's a conversation for another pod. I saw a big man, you know what I'm saying, ask what was the other hoe moves, but I can't.
Wait a minute, pause. I don't know who this is because it says Facebook user, but it's 2 of them. It said that they didn't treat KD like the star they should have. And is it a whole move if the organization didn't be adults about Kyrie in the first place? See, that's where I don't know where this comes from, but the organization gave the keys to Kyrie.
Gave him to him.
And KD. If the organization didn't treat them like the stars they were, they would not even have Steve Nash as the coach.
Look, man.
They allowed them to do everything. It's the owner that's now saying, I really don't need all of this. They gave him all of the grace, both of them, that they needed. I think the issue here is simple. Right? And I'll jump into the whole moves in a second. I asked a couple of weeks ago in the Some Dude Pod group if player empowerment, if that version of the NBA is now dead. This is why. Player empowerment worked with LeBron and LeBron only. Let's be real. There's player empowerment, and then there's LeBron.
Yep.
One of the biggest hoe moves in NBA history is the decision. That's top 5.
Okay.
However,
no argument there.
That whole move worked.
Yeah.
Because he got 2 titles out of 4 chances?
4 chances. And they went to the finals all 4 times.
Went to the finals all 4 times he was there.
Mm-hmm.
So while a whole move happened, it was successful.
Yeah.
Everybody started trying to do the player empowerment shit. It only worked with one person ever. Yeah. LeBron James.
Yeah.
Because he used player empowerment to not only sign with the Lakers, but to get AD. And whether I really give credence to the bubble championship, the intramural championship, he got a ring out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Tell me where player empowerment worked. Other than that,
yep.
Actually, it was only one more person. It's only one person. Actually, it's Kevin Durant, because he was able to use a loophole. Him and Golden State was able to use a loophole due to the collective bargaining agreement and the salary cap, and signed with Golden State. And they were able to win a ring. 2 rings. And they should have won 3, but he and Clay got hurt.
Yep.
Toronto would not have a ring if them two don't get hurt. Now,
Facts.
he decided to go, I want to go start my own thing with the homie. Him and the homie talked. They went to Brooklyn. Brooklyn said, here. The GM and the owner said, hey,
Here's the keys to the city.
here's the keys to the city. Kyrie Irving didn't want Kenny Atkinson as the head coach. He quit. Kenny Atkinson quit. Tell me how many times you see a head coach quit. Like, you got to fire me. No, he said, you know what? I don't want the money. I'm out. He quit. And Kyrie didn't play most of that season because Buddy was like, hey, KD ain't here, so let's just go ahead and wait.
Yeah.
Then the pandemic happened. And then the playoffs happened last year. A foot away. And I was today years old when I learned that Kevin Durant don't hoop with his shoe size.
What you mean?
He wears a shoe a little bit bigger.
Like a half a size or a whole size?
I think it's a half or a whole, but I was today years old when I heard that on the TV.
A half a size, I get it, but if you wearing like a whole
like
size up, if you wear size 11,
if he wears a 15, he wears a 16.
And you wearing a 16, I don't get the concept behind that, but hey.
Yeah, but that because they was talking about the 3-point shot, that wasn't a 3-point shot. So if you look at what happened at the end of the year last year, you would think, all right, cool. They the favorites, boom, boom, boom. Pandemic happened, and then the shot, he don't want to take the shot. And then KD is playing, he gets hurt. James Harden's like, yo, I'm out this bitch. They trade him for Ben Simmons, who ain't playing. There's a lot of stuff going on.
And I
the owner is now like, hey, Kyrie, we gonna need you to play, but we not giving you no long-term deal. They don't give him a long-term deal. He opts in. And the same day he opts in, KD like, yo, I'm out. Look, I am a Kevin Durant fan. I have given Kevin Durant grace. I did not shit on Kevin Durant. I was probably one of the few who didn't really shit on Kevin Durant because he went to Golden State, because not only precedent is set, like, yo, he ain't taking no pay cut to go there or anything. It's like, boom, they had everything to do it. They didn't have to move a lot of things around. Steph got his money. Clay got his money. Draymond got his money. It was set. And they won the championships. But then when you leave that to go to Brooklyn because they giving you everything you want and you don't win, that looks bad.
Very bad.
That looks extremely bad. And what even looks worse is that he says that the 2 number 1 seeds in the NBA this season are the 2 of the teams that's on his list. Like, I want to trade. I want to go to Phoenix or I want to go to Miami.
He want to go to the 2 number 1 seeded teams in each conference. This your list. So you look at this right here, Kevin Durant. You might not see it, but if you do ever see it, this is the closest you ever gonna get to the Phoenix Suns. Because nigga, you ain't going over there unless Devin Booker is involved, and they not giving up Devin Booker, bro.
Yeah, that Phoenix. They
don't need you. You gotta understand. Yeah. They don't need you to win a championship.
So that's my question. That now, with that being said, that's my question.
Yeah.
Because Miami, Phoenix, both number 1 seeds. Phoenix didn't get to the Eastern Conference Finals. Miami did. They could use Kevin Durant.
Miami?
But Miami, both.
Yeah.
Both. They could use him. Anybody could use him.
Of course.
But do you feel, 2 questions, 2-parter. Do you feel that it's cheating again, because people would say that was with Golden State. Is it cheating again if Kevin Durant is traded to Phoenix or Miami without them trading their star player?
Yes. That's some shit Adam Silver got to step in and do like they did with the Chris Paul shit. Since they so-called wanted to call that cheating. If Kevin Durant happens to make it to Phoenix and Devin Booker is not involved in the trade, bro, you gotta shut all of this shit down, bro. The competitive spirit, the nature of the NBA, bro, will be shot, fam. That will be the shittiest, bullshittiest. That's not even a word. Trade of all time. That will go down as the most bullshit trade of all time if Kevin Durant makes it to the Phoenix Suns and Devin Booker is not involved.
So the next question to that is, you do have teams like Philadelphia. You got teams like the Bulls who have max players on their star players, all-star players. And this is on both sides. You got the West with the Clippers. You got the West with Golden State. They definitely got a lot of star players and picks.
Yeah.
Do we feel the same way if through those 2 through 5 teams, so to speak? Do we feel that same way if Kevin Durant ends up there?
I think it just depends on who's in the hall of like who gets traded. It all depends on what is.
I'll say this, like the Bulls, for example, because of course I'm not going to stunt. I would love for the Bulls to try to get him here. You just re-signed Zach Lavine with the max contract. You got DeMar DeRozan that is still here. But you do got Vujovic, who is now on an expiring contract. You got Pat Williams, who the organization thinks very highly of. Yeah. You got a Kobe White that's trade bait. So you got those 3 players. You have a Portland pick that's probably going to be a low pick that you can trade. You could do some swaps. So this is a trade, and let me be very, very clear here. He's under contract for 4 years.
Yeah.
He could try to pull all the bullshit he want. Wherever they trade him to is where he going. He's not a free agent. I don't know why some people think that you can always pull the string. Sometimes you put yourself in a position.
Just because you put that list out don't mean that a team is gonna abide by that.
This is not
cool. Yeah, you want to go there.
This is not a no trade clause situation where I got a no trade clause, but I can go to X, Y, and Z team. Like, these are teams I want to pick, and I'll waive my no trade clause. It's not that. If you have Kevin Durant, which is one of the greatest players of all time, who's still in his prime, you need to get back as much as you can get. You can't talk about, I'm going to the Lakers and I'm going to give you whoever you got over there. It doesn't work like that. This is not, I want to be very clear, because people be talking with 2K22 mindsets and don't really think here.
This is not my player mode.
Right. This is not my player. You don't have to go into the setting. You can't go into the settings here and click a button that says, I want to trade. And then the computer GM sits there and be like, why you want to trade? And you press the X, and then you pick the team you want to go to. This is not it. He gonna pick the teams that he's interested in. But
that don't mean shit, though.
That don't mean shit. So
my man's can easily be sent back to his original squad, the OKC Thunder, for all we know. Who knows? We got.
Oh, no.
We good?
Miriam was shaking her head. That's
all. For all we know, Kevin Durant could be right back in OKC. Who knows?
So I prefaced all of that to say, this is why I said 2 through 5, because they ain't stupid. They're not dumb. They're not going to trade him to the Oklahoma City Thunder because Oklahoma like, yo, we're about to give you 10 first-round picks.
It's all fair, and it's all fair if a superstar is involved. If ain't a superstar involved and they just shipping out draft picks and a role player or two, then no. Then KD will be getting over easy. Right. And it'll be a steal for whatever team that he lands on.
So that's why I prefaced the question that, yeah, of course the media is gonna go, and then the media ain't gonna tell you everything, because the media just told you that he wants to go to Phoenix, he wants to go to Miami. Those are the top 2 teams on this list. but it's definitely not a 2-team list.
Mm-hmm.
Like that, I would love for, excuse me, I would love for the Bulls to trade for him, and I do think they got the pieces. They have pieces that's very enticing.
For sure.
But also, if you look at the Vegas line, they're one of the favorites to get him.
The Bulls?
Yeah.
Interesting.
If you look at the Vegas line, and Vegas sometimes be like, oh, how you know this shit?
Vegas knows. If anybody that knows and they're a gambler, Vegas fucking know.
Yeah, if Phoenix was number 1, Miami was number 2, Boston was number 3, and I think the Bulls was number 4 last time I checked.
The Bulls have 2 pieces that they can give up to get that man. And that trade, if that trade were to happen, it won't happen without DeMar DeRozan or Zach Lavine being involved. So you got to look at it that way. So that's why.
Here's the thing. See, here's the thing about that, Mike. If you the Nets, you don't really, if you the Nets and looking at the Bulls, and there you go, Dallas was number 3. But if you look at it, fam, you never gonna get the optimal trade that you want trading a superstar. You're not gonna get everything you want to get.
Yeah.
But if I could get a Vujovic who has an expiring contract, which means I'm gonna have some cap room when he's gone. If Pat Williams is what the Bulls think Pat Williams can be, you have a young star on your hands to pair with Ben Simmons.
So are you saying that the Bulls could possibly give up? Now, are you making a scenario in where that the Bulls don't have to trade DeMar or Zach?
I'll put it to you like this. If Zach Lavine was on the market to get KD, the trade be done already. Trade been done. Trade been done. Look, you see Liam's face?
Liam like, yeah, you right.
Trade been done for him. Like, let's put it to you like, look at, you're not going to trade a star for a star here. That's not going to happen. It's not going to happen at all. But if you look at stars, like if the trade was the Wizards going to give you 5 first-round picks, Bradley Beal, Rua, and the other young boy they got. But I said 5 draft picks.
Yeah.
And Bradley Beal. You think the Nets not going to take that deal? They're going to take that deal. But Washington's going to say, and now we're not giving up our best player, because the whole point of Kevin Durant, and here's the thing, the whole point of Kevin Durant saying that he wants to trade is if you trade him to a team that got a star on them, you can't trade the star. Let's go back to Kobe Bryant. When Kobe Bryant was almost a Bull, was this close. Why didn't he become a Bull? Because not only did the Bulls didn't want to get rid of Luol Deng, Kobe Bryant was like, nah, he can't be in the deal because I need another star, in his opinion, to play with. I need somebody else to play with.
Yeah.
Kevin Durant is not going to want to get a trade from the Nets and then go to a team like the Bulls, and you trade quite possibly their best player. And you look at DeMar DeRozan and Zach Lavine. DeMar DeRozan is in his mid-30s. Zach ain't. So you don't trade that. That's like Dallas. Dallas is number 3 on that list, right? Oh, man, I give you KD for Luka. Oh, Dallas like, oh, no, hell no. We're trying to pair them together.
Yeah.
What's wrong with you here? So you're never going to get a big optimal trade like you want to. With that being said, if anything, I look at Boston. Boston if there's a trade that I expect to happen for KD, is Boston.
And Jaylen Brown will be involved.
Jaylen Brown would be involved in it.
I can see it.
If I look at Phoenix, and I'm not trading him for DeAndre Ayton, Mikal Bridges, and a whole bunch of picks. No.
Yeah.
There's nothing on Miami if I'm the Nets that's attractive enough to get him, to get KD. Sorry. If I look at Dallas, well, who I'm trading them for. Yeah. That's also the problem when it comes to stars wanting trades, because you look like, damn, like how am I going to fleece the situation? And even looking at Kyrie Irving, what are you trading for Kyrie Irving? in your 2K22 mind, oh
Mm-hmm.
man, you trade him for Russell Westbrook. You think the Nets want to deal with Russell Westbrook?
Hey, I can't wait for Russ to come back and have a monster season, fam. But go, I digress though,
I
because
get what
the Russ slander is so out of line, and everybody just. I get
I
it. Like, you're only good as your the last impression
being
is a very long lasting impression, and I
and,
get it.
and, and we've been
But
waiting for the bounce back for 3 years now.
not necessarily. This was his worst season statistically. In Washington, he was
And it
a
went
killer.
no,
In
listen,
Washington with Bradley
but
Beal,
what
he was killing. Go ahead though.
what I'm saying is what happened to the team? Like what happened with the team? Was Washington any good?
I mean, they won in the play in. They made
See
it to the
that
playoffs.
that's when it comes to
But I
Russ.
knew, but with Russ, that was always short term anyway. That was
See,
never going to be a long
here's the
term
thing,
thing.
and I hope Russell Westbrook has a monster season as well. Here's the thing, though. We're now at the age where a monster season for Russell Westbrook is being on a team that's at least in the Western and the Eastern Conference Finals. That's it. We know he could give us a triple-double. We saw that. Now, where he at right now, monster season, is he's leading a team, and the team is good, too.
Yeah.
So if he were, let's just say, for instance, if he were to get traded, him and Kyrie Irving were to get traded, and he goes over to the Nets, it's him, Ben Simmons.
But that won't even work.
I'm just saying.
But go ahead.
I'm just saying. I feel you.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. Well, it may. It depends. It depends on how Ben Simmons is, really. But with that being said, he would be the leader of the team. He would be the elder statesman. He would be the most experienced person on the team. Yeah. That team would have to have a 5th place finish at the very least for me to be like, oh shit, Russ is back. He can't average a triple-double or near triple-double when they're in the playing game.
Yeah, I totally agree. Agree.
So that's monster season for Russ. I don't know if that's going to happen. Okay. But I can see that. But I mean, I know I mentioned the Bulls, but I'm looking at teams that got a young star player that you can give up, or a potential star, along with a vet, an experienced contract, and a whole bunch of picks. I just named you the Bulls. There's probably other teams like the Knicks that could get involved, but I don't really think they have, unless you're about to give up RJ Barrett, I don't know if they really got that. So a trade for Kevin Durant, I guarantee you this. This is my hot take. I guarantee you this. Just like the trade we're about to talk about next. We're going to see a trade. We're going to see a trade, right? The Kevin Durant trade. And we're all going to say, that's it. We're all going to say, that's it. Every last one of us is going to be like, damn, that's all they got for Kevin Durant? I could have did better than that. Okay. Because when you look at that trade, like I said, when it comes to stars like that, you don't necessarily get back everything that you want to get. But then you're going to look at the Nets, and the Nets going to sit there and they're going to analyze the young player and I value this young player more than that young player. Yeah. That's a big ass expiring contract that I'm going to be able to get rid of. And yada, yada. And then these picks on these swaps and everything, these picks, I think they're going to be lower, so it's going to be more helpful. None of us is going to like the trade that happens with Kevin Durant, because we're going to look at that trade and we're going to be like, damn, they ain't get shit. I guarantee you. Mm-hmm. And that's going to be every fan base in the NBA, G. Even Marks and Charlotte's going to be like, damn, we could have gave you more than that.
Yeah.
We gave you Miles Bridges out here doing the dummy. We could have gave you him.
My man is cooked. He cooked. But before we move on from the KD shit, I just want to say, to my original take that KD will hold 2 spots in the top 5.
We got 3 whole moves.
Yeah. So KD, the reason why I say that is because, and we pretty much, you know what I'm saying?
No, wait a minute. Number 4 whole move is David Stern blocking the Lakers trade
That's
for
the whole.
Chris Paul. That's
That
number 4.
That's number 4. But the reason why I say this is because, and the reason why we've touched on pretty much all of this is that this is a bid that him and Kyrie Irving made together. They laid this out. They laid this blueprint out, and it failed. Or not even necessarily say failed. I mean, I don't even know if
this failed. No.
I mean, it's technically failed, but what I'm
failure.
saying is that just on the last pod, I said I was happy when Kyrie opted in, and we were gonna actually get to see Kyrie, Kevin Durant, and Ben Simmons play hopefully a full season together.
That's why I don't understand. I'm sorry to interrupt, but I was just gonna say I don't understand. I really don't understand why.
Why what? Why this is happening?
Why this is happening just off of base what you just said. We really ain't had no full season.
That's the whole reason, and that's why I'm so upset about this. And I'm like, not upset, but it's just like I'm not shocked, but I'm shocked that these niggas actually ain't picked up the phone and tried to get in the gym this summer to try to figure out what their game plan gonna be going into the season, because you technically got a big 3 right here in front of you, and then you signed key pieces back. Patty Mills is back, Claxton is back, then you coming in with a Seth Curry, and then you're gonna get Joe Harris back. I mean, what more do you need to make a push in the Eastern Conference? I don't get it.
It's almost to me, it's almost a case that for both of them, I can't see them on a team that's going to be better than the team that they're currently on, that they're contracted to. I don't know what team they could go on separately that's going to be better than the team that they own.
I don't know that they're gonna have going into next season. Where can y'all land yourselves?
They are the favorites
in a better situation.
They are the favorites in the Eastern Conference to win the conference, to go to the finals. And you like, I'm straight.
Where's this situation? That's what I'm understanding. What's the problem? That's why with KD asking for a trade is puzzling, but it's also like,
especially when you've done what you've wanted to do. The owner says, I want to take a little bit back, and they like, I want to trade. Like, I want to trade.
I'm out of here.
Matter of fact, and I'll even say this. KD is making LeBron look like a saint. He's really making LeBron look like a saint, because at the end of the day, LeBron, you can say, earned the GM LeBron moniker. He's earned that. He's won titles because of that. We can shit on LeBron James all you want to. You can do all that with LeBron James, or you can say all the stuff you want to say about Bron all you want to, but he got 3 titles.
Yep.
He went to multiple finals, and he was damn near the head coach and the GM of most of them.
Yeah.
KD ain't earned that moniker. So it's hard for me, even though I want him on the Bulls, it's hard. He can't go into no team and be like, yo, I want the keys.
You're done. The keys you're done. You just gonna have to go to whatever team you go to, play your role, and fit in like you did with Golden State.
Be the superstar you are.
Be the superstar you are, bro. But you ain't gonna be able to demand shit.
Like,
you know what I'm saying? So
and even with the rumors that they both want to play with each other together, like Kyrie, and like if that were to happen, that's going to be even worse for both of them. Now the thing is I think KD, I said it on this, he's just a hooper. He just want to hoop. On the surface, he just want to hoop. But that's changed. My mindset with that has changed because of this trade request. I don't get it. And again, this is somebody who I really was like, oh man, KD this and that, KD that. I can't excuse it. With that being said, he could come to the Bulls. Now,
with all that being said, hey, Chicago, we go welcome him in. It's all good. Are we all for it?
Again, that trade, Chicago trades Vujovic, Pat Williams, Kobe White, the Portland pick, swap picks, a Howard's franchise, the Mouse Sauce recipe for Kevin Durant. And we winning the championship.
Oh my God.
We winning the championship.
Hey, that's gonna be cheating, but hey, fuck it.
Hey, the Bulls deserve to cheat again. All right, Golden State has now more championships than us. Who would have ever thought that?
Who would have thought?
We need to cheat again. All right, we need that in our lives. A trade that came down right before we started. And everybody thought he was coming to the Bulls. All the reports we was like, and people were saying was, it's a foregone conclusion that Rudy Gobert be with the Bulls in the offseason. Well, no. The Jazz traded four first round picks.
4 picks.
Including Malik Beasley, Waller Kessler, who was the pick that they drafted this year out of Auburn, white dude who play hella defense. Vanderbilt, Bellarmo, Pat Beverly. They traded all of that for Rudy Gobert.
Interesting. All right, look, check this out. This first of all, before we even get into the shit, the Timberwolves is hey, where the Timberwolves gonna be at in the West next year? First of all, back to the ghetto you go, Utah.
Yeah.
Back to the ghetto you go.
Because Donovan Mitchell's getting traded too, ladies and gentlemen. Let us be clear.
And insert the Minnesota Timberwolves as a threat. Here.
Do we?
I mean, hey, look, they gave Memphis a run for their money. First of all, we're in the play-in. They were in the play-in. Played a hell of a play-in tournament. They were at the bottom of the play-in. They had to play 2 games, right? Or no?
Yeah, they did.
They had to play 2 games to get into the playoffs.
D'Angelo
and then gave Memphis a run for their money. Insert these guys right into the Western Conference mix. I'm giving them a 5 seed, 6 seed, 5 or 6. Bro. You got it. How do you not?
D'Angelo Russell, Anthony Edwards, Cat at the 5, at the 4, and Rudy at the 5. Rudy in the paint, Carl Anthony in the perimeter. He loves it out there anyway. He feels that he's the best shooting big man of all time.
Okay, so they just had to play 1 game in the play-in. But still though, come on now. You adding Rudy Gobert, you got Town.
I mean, they traded.
You literally got Twin Towers now. You got Twin Towers.
I wouldn't even call them a Twin Towers, Mike. I wouldn't even call them a Twin Towers because the Twin Towers are 2 people in the middle at the same time. One on the right, one on the left. This is not really. It's not really a twin tower when one is on the outside and one is on the inside.
So Carl Anthony. So this gets Carl Anthony. This might be this. I don't know. Hopefully, Carl Anthony Towns be working on that jump shot because he gonna thrive off that. That's what he called himself. He called himself the greatest big man shooter of all time.
He looked at this trade and was like, "I ain't got to be inside.
I ain't got to be inside no more." Yes, okay, I can see that.
He's smashing Jordan Woods right now.
I still think 5 seed though. I still think they will be. I even think without Rudy Gobert, I think the Timberwolves will be like a, 6, 7 seed.
All right,
easy, not playing 6 seed, not playing.
Let's look at the conference standings, right? The conference standings where they were. All right, I want to make sure that we do this right because I can tell you right now, one team that's going to be a lot better than they was last year. And even what's my man name? Draymond Green said that that's going to be a problem is the Clippers. The Clippers who was in the playing game and lost or whatever, like that. They're not going to be in the playing game this year, Mike. Let me tell you that right now.
Who not going to be in the playing game?
The Clippers.
They going to be inserted where?
That's a top 3 team.
Talk that shit.
The Clippers gonna be a top 3 team. A well-rested Kyrie Irving, Paul George, well-rested.
John Wall
at the point guard.
Wait, you said Kyrie Irving?
Kyrie Irving. Excuse me. Kawhi Leonard. Yeah, both well-rested.
Mm-hmm.
John Wall coming over there. Hey, that team is going to be that team was slated to be a top 3 team when they get healthy anyway. So I'm sliding them up in there. I am. The Suns, I think, stay. in that top 5.
Where do the Suns? Okay, do the Suns staying in the top 2, 3? Does that all based off
And the
whatever they
Nuggets.
do with Aiton? With Aiton,
And the Nuggets is back.
yeah, the
The
Nuggets is back.
Nuggets is back.
Michael Porter
Everybody's going to
Jr.
be healthy.
and Jamal Murray.
And Jamal Murray's going to be back. So,
But
yeah. Whoa. Let's whoa on the Minnesota Timberwolves.
all right,
right
cool.
now.
But answer me this
Whoa,
about
whoa,
the
whoa.
Suns. Answer me this about the Suns.
Yeah.
Whatever happens with DeAndre Ayton, I think where they lay at in the West is going to be based off if he comes back, right? And do we expect DeAndre Ayton to return to Phoenix?
As long as he's still like contractually, he's a restricted free agent.
When I say contenders, I don't mean contenders for the title.
Listen,
I'm talking about these guys right here. No. We're not contenders for the title, bro. Contenders to be in the top 6. So without being a play,
we're not talking about title contenders.
Not
we're
title
talking
contenders.
In the West. And we can't. And let's not look at that shit stupid, because none of you motherfuckers was like the Memphis Grizzlies was going to be the top.
Facts.
Was going to be the number 2 seed in the NBA.
Facts.
I mean, up in the Western Conference. None of us was like, we top 5, top 6, maybe. Playing game, definitely. Not the 2nd seed. So let's stop. And then Jaren Jackson the 3rd is dealing with a stretch fracture. He just had surgery on. So he's going to be out for 4 to 6 months. So that right there is going to be interesting itself. But to answer your question, for the West, I don't think the Suns necessarily drop out of the top 5, whether DeAndre Ayton is there or not. Okay. I don't necessarily think so. I think I would even say that depending on who they get, it might flow a little bit better. Because DeAndre Ayton is not necessarily the most aggressive center that's out there. I looked at the Grizzlies, and I'm just like I said when the season started last year, when everybody was on Atlanta's nuts, and I said, I don't think it's going to be it this year. They're going to be the Atlanta to me, except I don't think they're going to drop out the playoffs. I think they're going to be a 6, 7, 8 seed, but I don't see them being the 2nd seed in the NBA. With all that talking and all of that stuff going on, now people gunning for you. Now they're gunning for you. I don't necessarily think that's going to be the case here, where they're going to be a top 2 seed in the Western Conference, especially when, again, you have the Clippers that's going to be healthy. And the last time everybody was healthy on the Nuggets, they was the number 1 seed. Now you get a much better Michael Porter Jr. and you get Jamal Murray back. To me, to keep it a buck, I believe Denver should be the favorite coming out of the Western Conference next year with the bodies that they have coming back. I believe that the running favorite should be the Nuggets, the Clippers, the Golden State Warriors. That's another thing, too. None of y'all marks was talking about Golden State was going to be winning the NBA championship, let alone to be where they were at in the Western Conference, which was number 3. So I don't want to hear that stuff either with, I thought only people that thought the Warriors was going to be back is Warriors fans. That's it. That's all. So I look at the Nuggets, I look at the Clippers, and I look at Golden State as the top 3. I'll slot the Suns up in there as 4, and then I'll slot the Mavericks up in there as 5. So I got the Grizzlies, the Timberwolves. If Zion is going to be back, so I got the Pelicans up in there as well. And I know y'all wondering, okay, where do the Lakers fit in? They fit in as a play-in game contender. That's it.
What if they get Kyrie Irving?
If they get Kyrie Irving,
you gotta have another conversation. You gotta have a different conversation.
They're not top 5. They get Kyrie Irving, they're not top 5.
Still gotta have a
because to get Kyrie Irving, you can't do that Kyrie Irving trade and get Russell Westbrook unless you give like some money back.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll see what happens with that. We got it with the Suns part with Aiden and the Bulls for Vooch, Kobe and that Portland pick. That's too much for Aiden.
That's ain't proven, bro.
That's too much for him.
Aiden got to get in the gym, bro.
That's too much for him. I keep Vooch. If that's the case, I keep Vooch. I would keep Vooch. I'm sorry.
He a defensive liability, bro. And he's soft on the rebounds, bro.
Yeah.
That's why we was pushing for Rudy Gobert so much, because Rudy Gobert is a board and a block shot on every possession, pretty much.
And then just a transition, another trade came down today, one that we talked about. a couple of weeks ago, and everybody was talking about, and that has happened. And not only has it happened, um, that team is now my favorite to come out the East, and that's the Boston Celtics. The Boston Celtics got better by trading nobody, basically.
That's the way to do it in free
That's the
agency.
way to do it. They traded Daniel Thies, Aaron Naismith, and the 2023 first round pick for Magnum Brogdon from the Pacers. And it was funny because what was a couple of days ago, Marcus Smart put out a tweet or whatever saying that y'all talking about y'all want an all-star guard, but they didn't lead us to the finals. We went to the finals this year. Well, Malcolm is going to be the point guard here,
There you
Marcus
go.
Smart, and you can play off of the ball and everything, and you could get some defensive leadership. But Malcolm at the point to me is what them boys needed. I think Boston is the favorite to go back to the finals off of
Okay.
that because they
Okay.
basically they basically traded nothing.
And they're gonna get Gallinari
Right, and they got Gallinari coming off the bench.
coming off the bench, and he can shoot. So
Yeah, so
good pieces added there.
so this postseason has been very interesting,
This
and
offseason been wild. It's wild. It's wild.
it is wild, and it ain't over because we still got to see where Kyrie's gonna go, and we still got to see where KD is going to go,
The
and what.
puzzle. Go ahead. Go
Go
ahead.
ahead, no, go
No,
ahead.
go ahead. No, I was going to say the most puzzling, and I'm still. I guess I ask you. You know, you might have a better theory on this. Give me some more insight on Dejounte Murray being traded to the Atlanta Hawks. Now, I'm and the Spurs pretty much just like decided. I thought they were in a rebuild. It's kind of like they just
Oh, they
went two
are
steps
now.
forward. They went 2 steps forward and took 2 steps back.
No, they in a rebuild now.
I mean, I thought you were in a rebuild,
Oh,
and
they're tanking now. It
they
went from
tanking shit.
rebuild to tanking.
But you were taking steps in the right direction with a rebuild
Nah,
with Dejounte Murray.
I think no, I think it's complete tear down with that team, especially with the people that's in the draft next year, at least two. Scoot Henderson, who's in the G League, he was the youngest pro player in the United States. He's been in the G League Ignite, the boy Cole, and he's now because he's in the G League in the NBA system. He's expected to be a top 2 pick. And Victor Wembanyama, I can't pronounce his last name fully, but he's out of an African cat out of France. He's projected to be a top 2 pick, 7'3", plays like Kevin Durant a little bit, got a shot and stuff. He's basically your stretch for what we see right now and that thing. And the boy looked nice. So those are the 2 picks that people are looking at. All they doing is the same thing that they did when they tanked to get one of the top 3 picks in the NBA, and they end up getting the number 1 pick, and that number 1 pick end up being not Kevin, but Tim Duncan. So they're doing the same thing right there. The same thing they did for Tim Duncan when David Robinson got hurt. So they was like, hey, Dominique Wilkins, go ahead and run wild. Go
Yeah.
ahead and do that. That's what's going on.
There's a lot going on over there, bag. A lot going on. Y'all already know, man. Some do pod when it could get rowdy with the families in the background on the pod.
Yeah,
You know,
it's
it
an
happens.
emergency pod, so
It's
that's what's up. And then and then also with Brett. Oh, another thing with that is Brett Brown is back with the Spurs. So I also wouldn't be surprised that that's Pop's replacement when he retires. I think what Pop wants to do is get a younger star or two in place before he dips, and then when he dips, whether he takes an advisor role or he runs for president, we'll see what happens there.
And another move in free agency that I was somewhat concerned about, but I guess now it does make sense that it happened, was Jalen Brunson to the Knicks.
That still don't make sense to me.
I mean, his old man is the assistant,
No, I get.
and his godfather is no, his agent. His agent is the
It's
godfather,
former
godson.
Man,
Is the godson to the
I
president.
get it.
I get that part, but I didn't understand how Dallas didn't offer him shit.
No, Dallas made the mistake because he came to him, they declined. He came to him again, they declined. He played his ass off. He overpriced now. But Jalen Brunson is going to remind me of, and if you are old head like me, he's going to remind me of a lot of those players who got money in 1996. They got money because that TV deal came in. So you had money to spend.
So are
So
you
it was a
saying
whole bunch
so,
of people getting money and they didn't live up to that bread.
so you want
There's
to
nowhere in hell Jalen Brunson is going to live up to getting 110 million from the New York Knicks.
Okay, so when you say that, the first person that pops in my mind when I think of somebody who got a bag and hasn't lived up to what they're supposed to be is Michael Conley. Mike
Yeah.
Conley is the first.
And
Mike Conley is the first. He had at one point in time. Mike Conley had the biggest NBA contract in NBA history.
they ain't live up to it. It's gonna be like that.
$154 million.
Yeah,
That man.
it's going to be a situation like that. And the thing is after the Knicks had money to spend, and they do they need a point guard? Yeah, they need a point guard. They've been looking for a point guard for shit. They've been looking for a point guard since they traded Rod Strickland and Mark Jackson. They've had people in those spots, but they've been looking for a top flight point guard, not a Derek Harper or something like that. No, they've been looking for a top flight point guard, and they ain't been able to find it. And they find somebody that's suitable.
Yeah.
And look, Jalen Brunson's probably not even gonna make an All-Star game. And what's funny
so you think
is that
Jalen
Michael
Brunson,
Collins.
Man, it's interesting, bro.
I'm not saying that he's going to be extra huff. What I'm
Yeah.
saying is in the number one market in the United States and with the Knicks, that team right there, you pay him 110K, he's not going to live up to that, fam.
So
He's
you're
not.
So this doesn't put the. So I'm guessing you're answering my question that you don't think that this move puts the Knicks back into a better spot in the East.
No.
Okay, I'm just making sure.
Why?
I'm just making sure. Just making sure.
Why? Julius Randle don't even want to be there. He don't even.
Okay.
He don't want to get booed by nobody. No,
Right, I got
hell
you.
no.
I got
If
you.
you look at the East right now, to me again, Boston is in the best slot. We will see what the 76ers will do. If healthy, I'll tell you this right now. I told this to Coach Moses on Facebook, and I'll tell y'all this on the pod because he did tear his ACL. So once he's healthy, especially for the playoff run, Joe Ingles to Milwaukee is a very underrated signing. Because Jim Rome Ingles, the all-time leading scorer and export fitness history. No, I get what you said. I'm not saying star or anything like that.
Of course not.
What I'm saying is when you need somebody off the bench to give you a bucket, we saw that in Utah. Who gave you that bucket? Two people, Bogdanovich and Joe Ingles. I don't know what it is about slow ass Jim Room Joe Ingles, but that he's slow and fast at the same time. It's like, yo, how did he get there? How did he shoot that trade? I'm telling you, that's going to be a very underrated signing because of the bench that Milwaukee has. You got Bobby Portis that's coming back. Got 4 years, 49 million. You got a couple of other nice pieces on their bench.
Pat Connaughton.
Connaughton. And they have some great white people on their bench.
Yeah.
And like I said, Joe Ingles to me is export fitness player of the decade. That he looks like your next door neighbor. When your next door neighbor at the gym, and you're like, oh man, I be seeing him outside. That boy a bucket, but they don't know.
Yeah,
they don't know he a bucket. Then next thing you know, he's killing everybody in export fitness. That's Joe Ingles. In a playoff run, you need people like Joe Ingles. That's what I'm saying about that signing and why I think that's a low-key great signing, because in the playoffs, you need people like him. I'm not sure about the Raptors and what's going to go on with them. The Bulls have to get somebody.
Yeah, they got Drummond.
Look, I'll tell you this. I like the Drummond signing because, and a lot of people, Andrew Drummond, I believe, averaged a double-double. when he got to the Nets. I have to look that up, but I believe he averaged a double-double when he got to the Nets.
My only issue with I don't have an issue with Andrew Drummond, but yeah, my only issue and my concern, I should say, my only concern is that I love Andrew Drummond, bro, but he has to be available on the floor because he's a defensive liability. My man could get 2 fouls in 30 seconds.
Oh yeah, he's definitely a liability.
And
when we look at defense right now,
yeah,
he's definitely
with like stay out of foul trouble, bro, and he's good with me, bro, because I'm cool. I like Drummond.
Yep. In 28 games with the Brooklyn Nets, he averaged 11.8 points per game, and he averaged 10.3 total rebounds a game. That's in the last 28 games with the Nets.
But based off minutes, his minutes can fluctuate based off how he hacking.
Well, he's coming off the bench anyway. I don't think he's starting. And the games that he had, the 28 games that he had with Philadelphia, he averaged 6 and 8. But I also don't think that he fit.
He came off the bench though, for the most part though.
Yeah, and I don't think that he fit there. He ain't like him and Joel Embiid don't even like each other and shit. So I don't think he fit there anyway. But when he got to the Nets, he was a double-double. I'm not saying that he's gonna be that with Chicago. What I'm saying is that we need somebody that can rebound because Vujovic ain't that. Now he's soft right there. I'm not expecting my man to start averaging like 2 or 3 blocks per game because in those 28 games he averaged only a block a game. But when the shot go off and that shot don't fall, we need somebody to grab it. And if Andre Drummond has showed us anything on the offensive and defensive boards, he could get you that shit. Now after that, we're gonna have some questions and stuff. I think with the Bulls, I think the Bulls things is this, and we have to see it now because we didn't get to see it because in the first game of the season he broke his wrist, and then the year before that it was his rookie season. We'll see. Pat Williams better be what they expect him to be.
That's my only thing. Like when I see them not making a play for Rudy Gobert, I think they like really like Patrick Williams.
No, I
have to include
Pause. I think they made a play for Rudy Gobert. I don't think that the league thought that Rudy Gobert trade was going to end up in what it end up with Malik Beasley, Patrick Beverly, Waller Kessler, Jarrett Vanderbilt, Balamo, and 4 first-round picks. Yeah. I think everybody was like, oh, all right, let's get this trade off. But when they saw that, they was like, oh, shit, we wasn't paying that for him. They paid too much. Minnesota did. But yeah,
first rounders.
Yeah, but yeah, I think the Bulls, the only thing I could think of is the Bulls see Pat Williams as a free agent signing, basically, as a new player.
And when you say the Bulls need to make a move, do they need to make a move and sign somebody, or do they need to trade somebody? Because it looked like our roster is slightly deep right now, right? Look at the roster. They just re-signed Derrick Jones Jr.
Look, what I'm saying is when you look at the team right now, they need more. They need I think Kobe White could be a dope 6-man.
Me too.
I do.
I agree.
But with that being said, now you need a backup point guard. You need somebody. You put Kobe White off the ball, and you need a backup point guard. Is Ayo going to be that? We're going to see
right,
now.
And I had asked that. That's what I'm saying. When Lonzo coming back, you got Ayo Dosunmu, and then you got Kobe White.
Right. You got Lonzo, who hopefully his knee is straight and he's gonna come back healthy. So I think the Bulls view Lonzo. And Pat Williams as free agent signings. Let's not do anything stupid unless Kevin Durant is available, then we can get him. Because when you look at free agency, and some of these are restricted and unrestricted, Bradley Beal got his money. Zach is on our team. Jalen Brunson had no chance at. He got $110 million. Anthony Simons got $100 million. That shit threw me the fuck off. I did not know. Lou Dort got his money. Like, he got his money. He was a bucket. I don't think he was coming here. Like, I think he was always going back. And that's the other thing about the 2K thing, too. Y'all think because everybody's a free agent that they automatically just got it. Like, some niggas is just leaving, like, ending that contract to get a bigger contract. Nurkic, he wasn't coming here, and that's a center. Mitchell Robinson, he was always going to stay in New York. Bobby Portis opted out. He was always going back. Y'all want Marvin Bagley? Y'all want Chris Boucher? PJ Tucker was always going to Philadelphia. We want Tyus Jones. We want Gary Payton. Kevin Looney re-signed back. I'm going down the list of free agents
that we didn't
that
get
were
to.
free agents that we didn't get to.
Yeah.
You know, we want Nicholas Batum. We wanted him to come.
No.
Mo Bamba. I wouldn't have minded Mo Bamba, but Mo Bamba wanted a lot of money. See, as you see, I'm going down the list, Mike.
Yeah, for sure.
Who we were supposed to, like, when people say, oh, so I think when it comes down to it, they see Lonzo and they see Pat as free agent signings because they're going to be healthy and they come back. I'm more concerned about Lonzo than anything else because that knee and shit is scary. Like, I don't think we've heard good news come out of it since.
I haven't heard any. At this point, we haven't heard any news.
So that's why, to me, they need another point guard. That's what they need. They need another point guard because just in case this happened again, you don't want to be stuck with Kobe White trying to play the point. And I don't think in the league, I think he could be a bucket as a sixth man. All right, and he's not going to run your team down the court. He got to play off the ball. If you do not do it like that, you ain't going to get the best you can out of Kobe White if he's going to be on that team. Okay. I don't want them to trade Kobe White for homie that went to Simeon Tucker on the Lakers. I don't want that and stuff too. And then my homie that they drafted from Arizona, I want to see how he's going to be. He can play three positions. He's not no point. He can play three different positions though. They got him for wing defense, an occasional three, and they basically drafted an energy player because in this draft, at that pick, that's really, unless you're getting, I wish they would have got Marjan Beauchamp.
Okay.
That's who I wish they would have got. Because I think he's and who got him? The Bucks got him. And I think he's going to be able to help him too. But Perry, I looked at him to see like some good defense for the Bulls and everything. But yeah, I think they see Pat and Lonzo as free agent signings. So they of course are not going to go out there and go crazy. You got Andre Drummond who could come off the bench. So I think it's either just pieces or we're going to go big for Kevin Durant for the Bulls. So does that make them a top, because they were a top 6 seed? Let the league, let the NBA the Eastern Conference most of the year, but then they end up being a top 6 seed. Do that make them a top 6 seed now?
Put this roster, a healthy Lonzo Ball with the roster that we have right now with no more moves, they top 6. They not playoff. They not playing.
I mean,
they top 6.
They're not better than the Heat. They're not better than the Celtics. They're not better than the Bucks. They're not better than the 76ers. I don't think the Raptors are going to be. I mean, they're going to be steady. So we'll see how that goes. Yeah. The Nets was a 7th seed, and we already see where this is going. The Atlanta thing interests me because Trey wanted to play with Murray. And I think Atlanta sees this as their bootleg version of Clay and Steph. If they don't trade John Collins, we'll see how that goes. But John Collins wants to be on the team 1 minute, and then the next he doesn't want to be on there.
Yeah, he wants an extension. They gave him one.
It's like so
we don't know. They kind of got like a Rudy Gobert, Donovan Mitchell type situation because there was rumors floating around Atlanta that them niggas was beefing. You know what I'm saying?
That's why they still do.
So,
the Cavaliers are going to be interesting. I'm interested to see how the Cavaliers go. The Hornets, Knicks.
Yeah.
The rest of the league, see, the East is top heavy now. Again, that is everything at the bottom of that. Like once you get to 9, it's like, all right, we'll see what happens. The West, on the other hand, because everybody is starting to come back, is going to become the best of conference in the NBA again. Because you got the Suns, the Grizzlies, the Warriors, the Mavericks. You got the Nuggets. Now that everybody is healthy back, Rudy Gobert on the Timberwolves is going to be very interesting. Let's see how Zion is going to be with the Pelicans now with him and Brandon Ingram. Is the Trailblazers going to be something in life?
Hey, I'm gonna tell you this. Let's put it like this. If they go out on the floor and they backcourt is Damian Lillard and Anthony Simons, they ain't gonna be shit. That ain't enough. That ain't it. They need a piece over there. Damian Lillard was fishing for KD. I don't know if that's still a possibility. Who knows? But no, they're not gonna be shit. And I disagree with. I think the East. I think the East is loaded, just like the West is loaded. Like you said, you mentioned the Cavaliers.
I think
I think the Cavaliers. With Colin Sexton coming back, what we doing? What we looking at?
They don't want him there.
They don't want him there, but they ain't moved him yet, though. Are they
Because
gonna?
don't nobody want him.
But he
for the
can
price
hoop.
that you're trying to get him. I'm not saying that he can't hoop, Mike, but they became a better team when his ass got injured. That's what I'm saying.
Well,
he became a better team when he got hurt. He's like, let's go.
We'll see what that look like. I mean, but if you put Colin Sexton and Darius Garland in the backcourt together, I mean,
if they were in the backcourt together, Mike,
I'm saying, but they're gonna be they put them with that team, put that team on the floor. They're gonna be decent.
Know,
I ain't saying they're gonna be top 5, but I think they play it. They're gonna get right around the play-in area though.
Colin Sexton, that ain't gonna work soon.
It's
but
quiet
no,
for the kids.
It's quiet. The Suns, the Grizzlies, the Warriors, the Mavericks, the Nuggets, the Timberwolves, the Pelicans, the Clippers. That's your strong 8 right there. You go with the Eastern Conference, you got the Heat, the Celtics, the Bucks, the 76ers, the Bulls. And I think you got a couple of questions off of that.
So we don't know anything after the top 6.
After the top 6, I think everything is a crapshoot.
Interesting.
Yeah. Even and in the West, even more importantly, you got monsters coming back. For sure. Paul George only played at the end of the season.
Beginning of the season.
Kawhi Leonard, he got hurt, but he came back. He was missing for the majority of the season. Then he came back at the end, and they made a run for it. But then Pat Beverly started celebrating. But Kawhi, he's now back for a full season. Kawhi's back. That's the Clippers. I'm telling you. If you were to ask me, Bang, who you think is going to be in the finals next year, I'd tell you Boston versus the Clippers.
Okay.
I will tell you that. It will be Boston versus the Clippers. Because the Clippers they're going to be coming in with probably with a top 2 coach as well. With Tyronn Lue. Now Tyronn Lue, top 2 coach in the East. In the West, is going to have all of his pieces. Look, Draymond said it, not me. They're going to be a problem. Yeah. Draymond said it, not me. And whoever this is right here with this, that's not going to happen. Let's just say this, that's not going to happen.
It's a fair trade, though.
That's just not going to happen, fam. Ben Simmons and Kyrie, Ben Simmons now becomes your cornerstone. That's the interesting part of this. He now becomes their cornerstone. But the Lakers are not getting rid of AD unless Kevin Durant is involved. Kevin Durant has to be involved in that. Kevin Durant has to be involved in the trade in order for you to let go of AD.
Yeah.
Because even though we shit on AD, we got to understand how old AD is. He could be Sam Bowie or he could be something else for the rest of his career. But that right there, nah, G. Nah, that is not, if that were to happen, I'm gonna tell you this right now. If you see Ben Simmons and Kyrie in one trade going to LA, they're going to be worse.
Damn. Really?
Who's your power? Who's your
center? No. Yeah, you're right.
Who's your center? Let alone 5.
That Lakers roster is really tough right now. Minus everybody.
That's what I'm saying.
Lakers roster. Hey, shout out to the Lakers. They got Lonnie Walker though. I like Lonnie Walker. Lonnie Walker is
he's a bucket. He's Malik Monk's replacement.
Yeah, but he's better than Malik Monk. But I digress. Yeah. Lonnie Walker is a better overall player than Malik Monk is. I'm with that. I'm with that all day. And I like Malik Monk.
All right.
But I mean, I digress. It doesn't matter. That doesn't matter. That's just a
Now, you know why that matters, Mike?
It don't really matter.
No. You know why it matters, Mike? Because it tells you about the roster that the LA Lakers have.
And that's facts.
That's a terrible roster, ladies and gentlemen.
That's a terrible roster.
You know what that roster reminds me of? That roster reminds me of Bulls versus Blazers in the 90s.
For sure.
It reminds me of NBA Showdown before NBA Live. That's the Eldon Campbell, Cedric Sabalas, George Lynch, Eddie George lineup, fam. That Lakers roster, I don't even think that's I won't even put that on LeBron, fam. Kyrie Irving is going to be with the Lakers. He's going to be with the Lakers. That shit's going to happen after the season, though.
After the season. So Kyrie, is it a Brooklyn Nets uniform at the beginning of the year?
No, I think he's going to get traded somewhere else.
So he's going to get traded somewhere else and play for one season, and then he's signing with the Lakers in the offseason?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, if he was going to be on the Lakers, he would be on the Lakers right now. See, that's what I think people don't really understand. It the Lakers was the only team who wanted him. They was the only team that was like, all right, let's discuss this. So
if that's still a scenario, then how they gonna trade him off? Then ain't nobody gonna want to be involved in a trade with him right now.
Bro, let me read before we go. Let's read off the current Los Angeles Lakers roster. Some of these people are free agents, restricted or unrestricted, but this is the roster how it stands right now. Carmelo Anthony, DJ.
Carmelo Anthony still on the team?
I'm going with how the season ended, and then I'm going to sprinkle in.
I think Carmelo's a free agent though.
Yeah, but Carmelo Anthony, he's a free agent. DJ Augustine, I think he's one too. Kent Bazemore is a free agent too. He wants to go to Golden State. He wants to go back. Golden State's like, nah, G.
You missed your beat, buddy.
Missed your beat. Avery Bradley, I think he's a free agent. They drafted Max Christie from Michigan State, Anthony Davis, Wayne Ellington, Wenyen Gabriel, Taylor Horton Tucker. Shouts out to the crib. It was a rumor that was a straight up trade for him for Kobe White. I hope that don't happen. For his sake too. I don't want him to come back home. Dwight Howard is a free agent. LeBron James, of course. Stanley Johnson, Mason Jones, Mac McClune, Lonnie Walker, Kendrick Nunn, Scottie Pippen Jr., Austin Reeves, Cole Windler, Russell Westbrook, Shaq's son, Sharif. New coach as well. Darvin Ham is your coach. Fam, this roster
is a shit show.
It's terrible. Hey, look, I still don't know who Facebook user is. He didn't want to go there for $6 million. Duh. He's not gonna lose $30 million. He's not gonna take a $31 million pay cut. No, he was never going to do that. He was never gonna take 30. So if he was actually thinking like, you know what? I'll take a pay cut to go to the Lakers. Did y'all just hit a roster that I just read off? I'm not taking a $31 million pay cut to go play with Stanley Johnson. What is wrong with y'all?
Oh my God.
He opted in because he is going to keep that salary. Now, if you want to trade me. But I'm not. But if you really thought my man was like, you know what, and that mid-level exception is hot out there in LA. I'm gonna say it again. He's gonna do that with Stanley Johnson. That team with him and Kyrie Irving is not a title contender at all. The Lakers' best trade piece is Anthony Davis. You could get a haul back, still could get a haul back for Anthony Davis. I think I'm gonna end this to say this, man. Y'all just need to come to grips that LeBron has come to grips that, hey, ain't no championship coming here. Y'all need to come to grips with that. Because LeBron,
as a notification just popped up on my phone said Lakers title favorites question mark. Multiple sports books reported receiving a surge of betting interest on LA to win the title next season. What do LA know? What does Vegas know that we don't know?
I'm going to tell you what they know, Mike. The only way you get what you want from the Lakers is what the league does not want. Here's your other hot take. We said all of this shit. Do not be surprised if AD and Russ is traded. And don't be surprised if Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving ends up in the Lakers uniform. That's why that would be a surge, Mike. It's not a surge if Kyrie Irving just get traded over there. Sure. The Lakers does not become a betting favorite over all of the teams we just named with LeBron James and Kyrie Irving. You know who they do become a betting favorite? If Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving is traded to LA. And you know who don't want that? The league. Because think about it like this, Mike. LeBron James, not even Kawhi Leonard. Fuck him right now. Kevin Durant and LeBron James on one team. Do you think the league really want that?
I don't want that. But the league wouldn't want that either.
The league and everybody that's not a Laker fan would not want that. The Lakers fans are busting nuts right now hearing that.
Yeah.
When you say what you just said with the alert that you just gave, that's why they become a betting favorite. Because they're more than likely having a conversation. And within that conversation is two teams, the Brooklyn Nets and the Los Angeles Lakers. And AD and Russ are involved in the trade. But most importantly, AD is involved in the trade.
Facts.
And if you that's the only way Kyrie Irving goes to the Lakers this year because of that bum-ass lineup that I told you that they got. And if that were to happen, man, oh man, the shit they gonna throw at Kevin Durant. If Kevin Durant and LeBron James ends up on the same team, the vitriol that you're going to see on sports television, man, it's going to be crazy. And also, and I'm glad that Brando said that. When that happens, you know who else is going to have a fit? The owners. And then you're going to see the owners and the players fight like never before. We don't fuck around and not get an NBA season.
Just based off the impact of that trade.
I'm telling you right now, if Kevin Durant ends up on the Los Angeles Lakers, it's going to be a ripple effect. It's going to be a major ripple effect. We don't want that. The debating that they got, that the owners are mad about right now, as far as money and max contracts and niggas signing their max contracts and wanting to leave and all that shit, that's one thing. But then when you sign a contract and then you finesse yourself with one of the top 3 players of all time who, for some strange reason, is still in his prime, cancel Christmas, ladies and gentlemen.
Mm-hmm.
Y'all don't want that. That's DEFCON 5 for the NBA. And the NBA is doing good right now, man. They on the front page of everything right now. This is the best NBA offseason to me since like 1996. Where everybody was getting money. Everybody was getting $100 million contracts. Jim McIlvain got $36 million contract. And you know what happened after the 1996? The owners was like, oh, get the fuck up out of here. And it was a lockout in 1998. The year after the Bulls win the title and Mike dips. It's a lockout. And they damned him. And like, it was the 50-game season after that. And San Antonio wins. It's going to happen again, Mike. And the key is going to be wherever Kevin Durant goes. If Kevin Durant goes If Kevin Durant goes to the Bulls, goes to the Knicks, if he goes to the Hawks,
Mm-hmm.
if he goes to New Orleans, it's like, all right, cool. If that man end up on the Lakers,
What are the chances of the owners of the Brooklyn Nets telling Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving that y'all got to come to work and do y'all job, and then they don't get traded?
oh, that's possible because this is a hard trade to make. It's possible.
Do we get that sit down? Because if I'm the owner, if I'm a GM, the president or whatever, bro, like I told you, I'm anti this shit, man. Like I'm against it. I want the competitive nature to stay, amongst the NBA, and these players feeling they entitled to just ask for a trade whenever they feel like it, bro. I feel like it's some bullshit. And I feel like if I'm a president and I'm a GM and I see the possibility of what I have going into this 2022-23 season, I'm getting them three niggas in the room. And when I say three niggas, I'm saying Kevin Durant, Kyrie Irving, and not a nigga, Steve Nash. Get them all in the room. Get the three of them in a room together, and you figure out how you can make this season salvageable. That's what I'm doing. That's what I'm doing.
The owner.
So I don't know. I'm just throwing that in the atmosphere.
The owner fed up, Mike.
Hey, they fed up. That's cool. But look,
the owner fed up, Mike.
At the end of the day, fam, Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving are employees of the Brooklyn Nets. Come to work and do your job, bro.
I feel you, Mike. But the owner tired.
That's cool.
The owner tired.
Get untired. He's gonna get even more tired in the situation trying to, execute a trade that he might not even be able to get off.
Mike, I've said this on this podcast, and I say it again for the people to hear. Every owner doesn't necessarily want to win the NBA championship. They want a contending team, a steady team that's going to fill up seats. I could guarantee you this. There's Brooklyn Nets fans like, man, let's just get this over with. And with Ben Simmons and the haul that you get back, because the thing is everybody's acting like Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving leaves, then it's DEFCON 5. No, that's why I bring up the first season where one was hurt. Like before they even signed, Kenny Atkinson had a team without stars on it in the playoff hunt. And then when he quits, when they do come to the team and he quits, the team has a great bubble joint. Carlos LeVert was out there killing in the bubble. A lot of owners don't necessarily want to win titles. They just want a contending team where we're going to support, and they're going to buy tickets. Because once you do that, the expectations for your fan base goes here. So when you don't win them shits, it's like, oh, what the fuck is going on? I'm not saying that Brooklyn don't want it, but here's the thing. Brooklyn trying to take the Knicks spot. That's their goal, and that's already an uphill battle because the Knicks is the heritage team out there. So that's already an uphill battle. But if you get you a gritty team that's going to win you 40 games.
But if you want to take the Knicks spot, you got to do something that the Knicks ain't never done, and that's win a championship.
But they won one. It's just been 1973 or whatever. But it's even gonna take more than that, Mike. The Brooklyn Nets can win the title right now, and they still not gonna do it, fam. Both what hat you got on? Sox hat. We won the title in 2005. We didn't take the city away from the Cubs, who didn't win shit. That's the Knicks. The Knicks and the Nets are the White Sox and the Cubs. We win the championship, nobody gives a fuck. Cubs win the championship, oh shit. I'm naming my child Javi.
Fuck.
That's it, right? That's it. That's what it is.
I respectfully disagree.
The Nets.
I don't think that's necessarily the situation with Sox and Cubs. But I digress. That's a conversation.
What is it? What is it? What is it? We lived it, Mike. It was 200,000 people at Grant Park when they won the title. The Cubs won the title. Chicago became the biggest city in the United States in Grant Park because it was 3 million people there, plus how many people we got in Chicago in general. It is what it is. That's the Brooklyn Nets, and that's the Knicks. You can win the title when you still ain't gonna replace them. You have to become dominant.
Yeah.
And that's what the Knicks hope that's what the Nets hope was gonna happen with having Kyrie and Kevin Durant.
You still have that opportunity.
They not fam. The owner like fuck this shit.
With Kevin Durant and Kyrie on your team, you always have a chance for domination. That's why
right.
I'm not. That's why I'm not understanding.
You right.
That's what we saying in the beginning of the pod. We're not understanding.
I'm not understanding why Kyrie and KD
don't have
just
that mindset.
Chill out.
Won't they
the owner though was like, yo, buddy ass ain't want to get this shot, but Andrew Wiggins got the shot. KD ain't even want to tell him like, yo, bro, let's go ahead and get this shit. We need to go ahead and get it.
That shit is in the
KD
past.
That KD like, yeah, he's tired. Yo,
Kyrie can play now. He don't
Mike
need
beating it, but Kyrie think he run the team. Mike, the reason to end this pod, to end this emergency pod, Mike, on some dude 127, I brought up the idea of a trade, of him asking for a trade, KD. I brought that up. You said it would be a top 2 hole move in NBA history if he were to ask for a trade. And the reason why we said that is because Kyrie in the press conference come out talking about some, man, we gonna come out and we gonna think about this and we're gonna do this as a family, and Joe Tsai and the GM and us. Nigga, you ain't played most of the season for a shot. Now you talking about us. The owner basically just said, I'm out. We done. I will do this shit with Ben Simmons and some players to be named later.
Okay.
And that's what he doing. And I ain't gonna lie. I respect it. And I respect it because sometimes you go the easy route, and when you go the easy route and it still don't work out, man, fuck it. Let me go ahead and do this and let's see what happens. Because that's what they did the year before all of them got there. So Ben Simmons, we're really going to see how good Ben Simmons is, because he just inherited a team, G. Because ain't no star player coming back unless AD and Russ is traded for Kevin Durant and Kyrie Irving and some picks.
Got it.
So Ben Simmons inherited the team, and I'm interested to see what he do with it. I don't think it's gonna be shit, but I'm interested in seeing it. All right, man. Thank y'all for joining this emergency pod, man. There was a lot of stuff that happened between that. So between when we actually podded and today. So this is officially the last pod. We might pod on Tuesday just because we did this emergency pod. We'll see. But there's a lot of stuff that can happen on the 4th of July. So we'll see what's going on with that. So, and then plus we got it. If Kevin Durant gets traded, we talking to y'all on Tuesday.
Yeah, but if not, we can take some PTO. Cool.
We can take some PTO. We can take some PTO.
Kyrie do it.
Shit. Right, Kyrie do that shit. AD do it. Shit. Imagine if those two get traded and both of those niggas barely play. One because one don't feel like it, and the other one because shit he strained his pinky.
It's like funny as hell,
man. So man, end us off, G.
Y'all already know, man. Hey, once again, thank y'all for joining us on the emergency pod. Shit happened, so we had to pod about it. Number 2. This is the second time we've done this. Hey, yo, real quick, Cardi, Kanye, Dirk, what you think?
Oh, it was nice.
All right, cool.
If I don't think the term "song of the summer" has existed anymore. Now I'll talk to you about that the next time we do pod. But if that term still really mattered, that's the song of the summer. Chicago just brought y'all the song of the summer.
Bet. All right, man. Subdue pod. Make sure y'all rate. Make sure y'all like. Make sure y'all subscribe. If you're listening to us on Apple Podcasts, make sure you drop a review, man. Make sure you write a review, and you can rate us on there. We on YouTube, the What Digital. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you like like the content that we putting out on there, and Facebook, at some dude, hashtag some dude pod, for the community, and invite other people to join the community, hashtag some dude pod. We on Twitter at some dude pod, at JR Bang, at Mike B underscore CHR, on IG as well, at some dude pod, at Mike B underscore CHR, at JR Bang. And we out of here. Happy 4th of July to everybody. Y'all have a safe weekend and all that good shit. Yeah,
KD and Kyrie to the Lakers with LeBron.
never happened.
Bet on it.